If you've been on the art side of the internet in the last week, you already know what's coming. You've seen this image, you've seen the memes, you've seen artists dropping like flies trying to draw this one angle. Just how hard can it be? So while I'm cooking in the background, I want to talk about a few things. We need to talk about why this angle is terrorizing artists right now. And I think it's a combination of a few different things. This from below perspective alongside the converse above angle, I believe are some of the hardest angles to draw in art. We all know how to draw a head and a face from a smaller angle. We know where the landmarks are and stuff like that. But from below, these landmarks are suddenly shifted. The eyes are higher, the nose might block part of the eyes, the mouth curves downward, and even the ears are much lower than what you might be used to. Basically, your eyes are screaming that it's wrong, even if you place them correctly. And don't get me started on this shape here. It's very tricky to draw, especially the way it connects to the neck. You'll see me struggling a lot with this later on. But here's another big reason I don't see discussed more often. I think the subject of OP's art made it harder for them too. It's Frieren, right? And Frieren is an anime character. Anime style relies on simplified structure. You can't really rely on super realistic anatomy, or well, it doesn't look like anime. Of course, you can always draw a realistic looking Frieren, but let's be real, most of my audience wants to draw an anime style. Right? You're exaggerating, but also having to maintain a very strict structure at the same time. That's surgery, basically. It's a very delicate process. A small muck up and a lot looks wrong. Also, I do have to bring up one more thing. Something I discussed in my previous video, visual library. How often do we really see people's faces from above or below? There is a joke that I do want to make, but I'll just stay safe for now. I'm almost monetized now, so... But yeah, most of the time we're going to be seeing people's faces from a straight on angle, so your visual memory has way less images to pull from as well. Anyway, let's see how I did in my first attempt. Right, so this attempt is alright, but again, same as my traditional sketch I should have shown earlier. It looks too... vanilla? I don't know. The angle is definitely a below angle, but I just don't really see... I just don't think it's enough. She needs to be looking up more. But even this angle was quite tough. Oh man, art is such a wonderful thing, isn't it? I still have such a long way to go. Every artist at one point, beginner or pro, has been humbled at some point by angles like this. Sure, the image is quite funny, and good on the OP for taking it in such good stride, by the way. And look, his art is now more known than anything I've ever made, so I'm not making fun of the artist, don't get me wrong, but it just looks funny, let's be real. But I think it's more than that. I think the post was also quite relatable. Who hasn't gotten out of bed, felt extra motivated to try something new, and then got insta-humbled by trying to draw something like this? So first, the people on the Frieren sub would have seen the post. Most would presumably not be artists, it's just an anime sub after all. It looked quite funny, so they upvoted it. And then the post started circulating, so then the artists saw it. The struggle is relatable, so they upvoted too. And then, well, we artists have our pride. I could do better, they thought. Then they tried, then they posted their attempts. Of course, the best ones make it to the top, but believe me, I've seen a lot of attempts from artists where it was clear to me that they struggled as much as the OP did. And there we go, just like that, a chain reaction. Eventually it turns more into a trend, an art challenge basically. Artists love these. So this attempt, I think I got the angle a bit better. She's definitely looking up more, but for some reason now it doesn't really look like her, and that's what's really tough about anime style, right? Since it's so simplified, it's hard to keep things consistent at different angles. A small change in eye shape or something makes it look like a different character entirely. But also I'm looking again at the original art, and is it a slight sideways tilt I see too? Hold on, OP might have been cooking harder than we all realize. Right, so while I give Frieren one more go, I do have a few more things I wanted to say in this video. If the original poster of the Frieren art somehow, some way the universe guides them to this video, I know this video is going to get like 15 views anyway because it's not a how-to. But first of all, good on you for taking the memes in such good stride. If my art became viral because of how wacky it looked when I was a beginner, oh man, I think it would be more hard-hitting than most people realize. I also saw the OP taking in all the constructive feedback from all the comments, and as artists I think it's important to do that if we want to improve. I know a lot of artists I've seen online don't like seeing unsolicited feedback, and I guess that's an entirely different subject if it's unsolicited, because since it's some people might be happy with where they are, but in stuff like art you can only get so far by only having your own eyes on your own art. So good on you, OP, good on you. I see massive potential in you, by the way. Give OP just a few years, trust me. But also there's a thing I wanted to say more than that. All that being said, I think it's very inspiring that you were trying such hard angles. I didn't try nothing like that when I was a beginner, that's for sure. Most artists wouldn't even try that angle. They would just stick to something safe, something familiar, something much more likely to look good, and for that you honestly have my respect. I've recently talked about how I'm getting very comfortable in my art in previous videos. I've gotten to a point where I don't really feel challenged in most of the things that I draw, and that leads to stagnation. I won't get worse probably, but I won't get better either. I always tell people, push yourself, draw things outside your comfort zone, but honestly I've been playing it safe too. A little too safe. Doing this challenge today, I mean, you guys probably saw me struggling to draw these Frierens in the background. I was at least 10 end rings outside my comfort zone, and I already feel like I've improved more in these last few hours than I did in the last few months. So to OP, if you ever see this, long story short, you've inspired me. You've inspired me to challenge myself again and to leave my art comfort zone more like I used to, and so thank you, I mean that, and I wish you luck on your art journey as well. This drawing definitely feels the closest to what OP was going for, but at the same time I can picture this really low angle that OP was going for. For example, if you remove the face from OP's drawing, you can maybe see what I mean, but honestly that's beyond me at the moment. I tried, and this for some reason is the highest I can get her for now. And now, just to prove that I wasn't referencing another Frieren art from this art challenge that someone else did, I'll draw a different character from this angle too. Honestly, this was very hard, much harder than I expected. I knew the angle was rough, but damn. But at the same time, I genuinely feel refreshed. It's been a while since a drawing forced me to think this hard, pushed me this far outside my comfort zone, and made me study every little detail like a beginner again. I still have such a long way to go. It's humbling but also exciting. I feel like ego after tasting ratatouille. So hopefully this challenge inspires you all as well to try things beyond your current skills. No need to be afraid of looking bad or looking silly or whatever. Just try. You don't even need to show anyone if you don't want to. And even if it doesn't turn out the way that you wanted, you still walk away better than you were before, right? So yeah, again, if the OP ever does see this, thank you again for inspiring such a cool challenge, and I had a lot of fun today, so thank you very much. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, a like and a sub would be greatly appreciated as always. I'll try out more challenges in the future if you guys liked it. And also, if you have any feedback about my videos or even my art, please let me know in the comments. As I said earlier, I definitely think outside feedback is very important for growth, for anything really, not even just art. So yeah, any feedback is welcome, as always. And that's all from me today. As always, keep drawing, keep experimenting, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.